Hello everyone, and welcome to my new RuneScape series. This RuneScape series is pretty much going to be all about helping beginners kind of understand the beginning aspect of the game and how they're supposed to get into the game as well. So because of that, I will mainly be focusing on the basics of the skills, combat, even quests as well, and kind of the benefits each of them give you. But because I'll be focusing on that, I'll be spending a good amount of time in the video explaining, which would mean to be a bit on the slower side pacing-wise. Due to that, some of you veterans may find this a bit more boring, but maybe if you guys haven't played in a while, it will help you get back into the game, or just at least figure out what the heck is happening with all the new updates. So now that I kind of explained that, let's just get into this now. This is your character creation screen. It's pretty simple. I'm just going to quickly create myself a character. Please make it somewhat like myself. Let's see. You know what? I don't have long hair like this, but I'll do it anyways. Let's at least go a similar hair color. Just a quick update, or a quick briefing. These clothes are actually all kind of with each other, so this piece goes with this piece right here to make like this neat smithing outfit. But I personally don't like these pants, so I'm probably going to switch to these ones down here, which I find most preferable, and then I'm going to go with the shoes so they match the feet right there. I will, however, change the color. Take a blue top, black pants, gray shoes. I have it match the knee braces. I think this is good enough for now. Let's get into it. Let's go with Martial Gamer. Hopefully that works. And it's already taken, so what are we going to do? Martial Games. Let's add the capital in there. And that seems to work perfectly well. Alright, so I am going to click I have played before but not in a while. That's going to have a little bit different start than normal. Most of you guys will be clicking I have never played before. That will start your tutorial island, but by clicking the bottom on the bottom, I'll have a little bit different start, but I'll be able to explain all the things that'll happen on Tutorial Island anyways, because once you get off Tutorial Island, it's actually a very similar tutorial to what you get on there. So I'll be going from there, but I do recommend you guys starting from the very first option. Right. This will be the first city or town, I guess you could say, you would spawn in after leaving Tutorial Island, but of course I kind of breezed right over that. I'm doing it right now. There I am right there. So now we're starting the game. Before we get into it, as you can see, like the UI might seem kind of scary, but you can actually customize this pretty well. I personally like making my minimap a bit bigger. I want you guys to be able to see all of the skills I have, so I will additionally increase that. I will move my character screen over there so you guys can see that a bit better. Make my thing a bit wider. Scroll it down. Pop the skills here. You know what, we'll just go all the way. And we'll make this go all the way over here. Once you kind of get what you want, as you see what I did with the UI, if you press the L button on your keyboard, it will lock it, and what that will do is means you can't move anything anymore. Doesn't really matter what you want to play with, but I like locking it once I set it in straight. So here we're going to start right away with Turiel. Turiel is one of the Slayer Masters in the game. As you can tell Slayer Masters by the skull and dagger over their head, or if you look at the minimap over here, if you scroll in, you'll see this, or zoom in, sorry, you'll see this skull right here. So let's get started with the very first activity they have us doing. So we're going to adventure. I will be going through all of these beginner tasks here just so you guys can go through it, especially because I just skipped Tutorial Island to show you guys kind of the action right away. So what he's talking about right now is how he is a Slayer Master and what Slayer is. It is a members skill, but you can get up to level 5, I'm pretty sure, in non-members, which this series will be fully non-members for now at least. If you guys would like to see me go members later down the line, I'd be perfectly fine with that, but until then, I will be pretty much completing all the non-members content to as much as I possibly can. He's just telling us about one of the Slayer caves over here and how this chump wasn't prepared and died. First combat. Alrighty, let's get into it. Farewell, my good sir. There's actually 2 bunny spots. There's one. Oops. Let's get out of this. That is probably a good idea. I should probably explain how I'm moving around. So this is a click and move game. If you hold down the scroll wheel, you can turn it pretty easily, like this. Additionally, you can also use the WASD keys to move the screen around. So back to what I was saying a second ago, there are rabbits right here, and there are additionally rabbits also over there. So we won't get into too much of the combat right now because we haven't explained, or the tutorial hasn't gotten to that part of the story yet. So as you can see right here, there's a loot beam that's over the ground. That shows high valued loot. The value is actually changeable, especially if you don't want to have your all loot pretty much be loot beamed. You can change it in the settings. Once I kill my 30, I can show you guys right now if I can quickly remember it. As you saw there, you can do a loot all on the ground. Let's see settings. Let's see. Item drops, loot beams, and you can set the amount of how much the loot beam is right here. I usually keep it when I'm on my main account at around 1 million, but because we're staying 9 members, I'm just going to keep it at the 10,000 for now. Of course, there's also different types of beams you can have, which are unlocked either the cosmetic shops, which is called the Solomon store in this game, or I think you can unlock some of them organically through the gameplay. Alrighty, so now that we got our rabbit meat, let's go on over and see what Tyrell says to us. It was great slaying the rabbits, but I'm ready for something else. Let's do it. So right here, I'm going to skip the cooking and fishing now. We'll do it a bit later. I'm going to go right to just cooking the meat on the range to introduce it to another skill after this. I want to just cook the rabbit on the range. So he was kind of just panning over to the nearest range. And here I'll show you guys another great thing about the game. So as you can see, the place is over there, but let's say the place was outside of my reach and I couldn't really click on it. It's too far away. What you can actually do, which is very nice, is if you go to the mini map over here and zoom out, you can see the arrow is right there. You can actually just click right on the screen and you can see it put down my cursor, sorry, a marker right there that my character will automatically path to. It's just a very convenient feature that I personally like a lot. Looks like he also gave us twice as much rabbit meat. So this is the cooking skill. What the cooking skill is used for is to make food that you can eat during combat. Food instantly restores health, unlike other games like WoW where you have to, I think it's a sit down. I haven't played WoW too much, but I'm pretty sure you sit down in the game and it restores health over time. But in this game, food, think of it as potions so that you can instantly restore health during combat or at whatever activity you're doing. Here. Right, so we just leveled up, and as you can see right over here, there is a flashing icon under the cooking, which means I've leveled up this skill in this game session. If you open it up, you can see all the things you unlock. Unfortunately, I didn't unlock anything at level 2, so it won't show us anything. Actually, I'll get us level 3 right now. I think I have enough to get level 3. Yes, I do. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's cook these 2 more rabbits right away. Nice. So I'll ignore the tutorial right here a little bit. If you click this open, you can see that the new thing I unlocked is this Haim Crab Potato, which is in Dioheim, which is the dungeoneering skill, which we can do as non-members. I'll get into that a bit later once we get this tutorial over with. Alright, so let's continue on. Let's go back to, oh no, we're going right to the mining area. Before we go there, I wanted to show you guys a little bit something about the game. Right here is the bank booth. You can see on the map that is a $sign. You go to the bank. I'm just going to deposit everything in my inventory because I don't need it right now. So you can click this, but you can also click the escape button as well to leave the game. I do oh, I guess there's no GP in there. So I do recommend banking your stuff when you don't need it, because you only have 28 inventory spaces, and that's actually very vital when you're doing combat or even skilling like we're about to do right now. So now I'm going to introduce you to the mining skill, which was recently reworked about, I think, a year ago now. But I'm going to quickly go over the new rework. So maybe if you are an old player, this might be new to you as well, if you've played in a while. So right here over your character, the blue bar is a progression bar. Once the progression bar reaches full, you will get 1 copper ore in your inventory. Exactly like that. So now the next thing I'm going to talk about is this little fuzzy thing over here. As you saw, from one swing, you get a little bit of the bar, but when you hit these fancy looking XP icon types of big deals, I guess you could say, you do a critical damage, which means that you do significantly more progression than you normally would, as it said, about 4 times. This number will eventually get to 7 times once you get higher, but I don't know how far you can get in the non-members world, so I'll just keep it at 5 for now. Right now we're collecting both tin and copper to make ourselves bronze, to make ourselves, I think, a helmet right now is the first part of the tutorial. Right there, you can click over there. What is nice about the new mining update is that I could theoretically just click this rock, go to the bathroom, go make myself dinner, go make myself lunch, go make myself breakfast, do whatever I want, and it will continue mining until my inventory is full. The perk of being active is you can click these, I guess you can say, glittery rocks that look like they're just giving off experience to increase your efficiency, but you can also AFK away from keyboard if you want to do something else. So now we're going to get into the smithing part of the smithing and mining rework. So if you right click, you can see you can either withdraw or deposit all stuff in metal bank. That will just put your ores or your ingots inside the metal bank, but I'm going to show you how to do it from inside the actual GUI. So here is the other one. As you can see, at the first you can store your materials or mined ore in the metal bank and store them into bars. You can store the ores over here and the bars right here. Right here, once I click this button, as you see, all the ones that are in my inventory right into the ore bank. Now we're going to make some bronze bars. Alrighty, so now we're gonna make, I think, the bronze helmet as I was talking about a second ago. So here is an additional, part about the update. So I have to select the bar. You can choose either bronze full helm or med helm. As you can see, they both have the same armor value, so it really doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm personally going with the full helm because I've always gone with the full helm in the past. Above my head you can see the heat value. The heat value is used when you come to the anvil over here. There's, again, the progression bar, and as the progression bar goes up, the heat goes down, as you can see when hovering over it. When the heat gets too low, the progress bar, I think, slows down by about half. Which you can do, again, very AFK, or you can be active by continuously heating it back up in the forage and getting faster experience, but it is more focused and intensive in that way. Nice. So I'm going to go with the next option and just get myself a full suit of armor. So as you see, I just got some bronze bars. I'm actually going to deposit all that into the bank so I can free some inventory space up, as I said, inventory management for when I go mine, but it looks like I actually can make at least some of the armor right now. So I'm going to click here, plate body or chainmail, both again, they both give 34 armor, so it doesn't matter. It's all cosmetic at that point. The amount of progress is determined on how many bars it uses. So since I think this plate body was 5 bars, that means it has 500 progression, as you can see down there. And then right here, you can see the heat is going down about the same pace, but some items actually doesn't. So what you would do here is go over to the heat forge, build your heat back up, and then go back to the anvil. And smithing up. Nice job. Let's equip that bad boy. Go back over here. Yeah, so it took 5. We're gonna make ourselves, I guess we don't have enough materials to make the rest of our armor, so what we're gonna do with the last 2 bars is we're gonna scroll down to the bottom, or you can just kind of close these tabs. We're gonna click on the ore box right here, which additionally uses two ingots. You can see it has 200 progression because of that, because the progression is per ingot, as I previously mentioned. I should not have to heat up because of how small the progression is compared to the plate body we made a second ago. Once we make this, I will show you how you can use this ore box to its fullest extent, which I'm actually going to need to unlock my screen to show you what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower that a little bit. I'm going to click out here, and this is your action bar right here. You will have your combat skills in here, but you can also have skilling skills on here. So what I'm going to do to show you right now is it wants me to mine. I'm going to drop the ore box on here. You can see it's right next to the equal sign, so whenever I press equals, it will fill the ore box. These ore boxes can hold 100 ores at whatever level they are. So for the bronze, it can only hold copper and tin. The benefit of this is instead of having only 28 inventory spaces, you now have effectively 200 because you can have 100 of each ore, and then an additional 27 in your inventory. So here I'm going to show you one of the kind of quality of life things that you can use this ore box for. So as you see right now, I'm just going to go back into mining. I'm going to click on the experience orbs coming out of it, get the 4 times damage, and right here, if you click it on the ore box that's in your backpack, it'll actually stop you from mining. But what's so great about putting it on your action bar here is that once we get ore in our inventory, if you click the equals, which I have the current keybind to, it'll actually let you continue mining. I'll show you what I mean in 1 second. See, 1 ore, I'm still mining. And I was able to input the ore into my ore box. So that is another kind of convenient quality of life update that you guys may want to know to kind of keep your mining a bit more less click intensive. So we got our 3 ore. We're gonna go gather up some tin now to match those 3 copper ores. As you can see, since the game session is still going on, our smithing and our mining both have flashing icons next to them. If I were to log out and log back in, these flashing icons would stop. With the update, as you can see, the critical chance increases, which pretty much means you can also hit criticals outside of this. Oops, I hit the wrong ore. It'll just pretty much increase the chance of those things spawning in. Put all it into the ore box. And as you saw there before oh, it still stayed open, nice. As you can see right here, by leveling up, I was able to smelt the bronze faster, which pretty much just means when I'm over here, I deposit all my ore. When I click here and I do this project right here, this will go faster than if I did not previously. Pretty sure it'll give us a bit more. No. Oh well. So we're going to deposit them in. We're going to make ourselves some pants. Again, there is plate skirt and plate legs, similarly to everything else. They have the same armor value, so it does not matter which one you choose. And if you guys want to take a guess on how much progress it is, guess based on how many bars there are, I'll give you 3 seconds. If you guessed 300, you were correct. Congratulations. You're becoming smithing experts already. I always like keeping my my heat bar above half. It doesn't matter. I think it starts mattering at 25% when it starts going down, but I still like to always keep it smithing. And as you saw there too, right here, if you look at the current heat, I guess not anymore, but it was at 312. Originally it was at 306, but when you level up the skill more, you can actually increase the heat per item, which I think, yes, it'll show right here, 33% more. So now that I can probably just do it right here. I'll deposit my ores in. I will click on the bar. I'll click on the boots and make myself some boots and gauntlets. After this, I'm going to go back into the mine and get some more ore to make myself 2 swords, because I don't want to stick with this butter knife the entire game. So we can make ourselves some gauntlets. Once I finish these gauntlets, I'm actually going to quickly cut the video right here, mine a bit more of the ore so I don't bore you guys too much with the mining, and then I'm going to get into the combat path right here for you guys. So I'll be right back once I get the, I think that's about 4 more. I'll probably check over here instead, I mean. Let's see. Yes, but I need to get about 4 more of each. I'll be back right when I'm about done smithing both materials of the weapons. See you in a second. And welcome back, guys. I am just about to finish, as you saw here, smithing up my last sword. Quick thing that I actually forgot to mention in the previous long clip was that you can actually, these things can store practically infinite of all the materials. I think it's just your standard max value in Java, which is 1.147 billion. So you can pretty much store infinite amounts of ore in there. Just want to quickly tell you that. So we're going to equip these 2 swords, the offhand and the main hand. You can, I saw in there, you can make shields, but especially when you're a new account and even pretty much anything that's not high level PVM, you really don't need a shield, and you can just go straight for the dual wield. So I'm going to choose the Way of the Warrior right here, which I'll have to talk back tutorial here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually deposit the things I'm not using in the bank right now. I'm going to pull out a couple of food, and then I'm going to talk tutorial before we go fight some trolls in the cave over there. Of course I'm interested in your combat techniques. So what it's explaining right now is that this is your adrenaline bar. Think of it as kind of like charging up your ultimate or whatever it is for other types of games. Every time you hit a bad guy, whether it's any combat, not just melee, I'm gonna have to change this a little bit to make this so close. Sorry, I kind of cut myself off right there. Every time you hit an enemy, I think you get about 8 adrenaline for it. And then there are basics, there are threshold, and there's ultimate abilities. Basics, as you see here, they don't use any adrenaline at all. But once you look right here, you can see it has the 50 adrenaline cost in the bottom. These costs or requirements can be adrenaline, skill level, equipment slots. So if you're using dual wield, you can't do certain things, or if you're using 2-hand swords, you can not do the dual wields, but you can use the 2-hand abilities. It's kind of just those slots down there, the 5, to show if you're able to do the ability or not. Let's talk to this guy right here. I repaired those combat techniques, and I guess skipping over what he was saying is not what he wants. So as you can see here, once you're out of combat, you do drain your adrenaline, which is about 10, I think it goes by 10% after you leave combat. Is he? Well, there you go. That is actually a good thing I forgot to mention. Threshold abilities, while they require 50 adrenaline, they only use 15% of your adrenaline. While ultimate abilities require and use all 100% of the adrenaline, as it states right there. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. That was pretty much just telling you that you can choose however many, choose whatever skills or items you want to put on your, similarly to how I had the ore box right there. And as you saw right there, when you use skills, they do go on cooldown. You can see in the top corner that this has a 15-second cooldown, 15, 10, 3, 15, and then threshold abilities are usually 30 to 60. And all ultimates, I'm pretty sure, are 60. So what it's having us do right now is you can actually drag food onto your bar right here, if it lets me, like that. And I can click on this instead of clicking on inventory, and it will eat the first of whatever type of food is in the slot, so it will just eat down the line. Let's do some combat, guys. Let's kill some trolls. So, as you can see here, there are hotbar. The hotbar shows you can select which ability you want, but as you probably see, there's this thick yellow bar around the skills 1 to 9. That's called Revolution. It will pretty much activate these skills automatically, going from left to right, whichever one's up at the time. You can also put thresholds on here, and it will activate the thresholds. But a lot of people like having the thresholds off so they can activate it themselves. You can also set keybinds to all the bars you have on screen, so I could set this to a keybar, whatever I want, but I'm not going to. I'll just click on it for the experience of this for now. So as you can see here, it used the skill by just using these Revolution. It was kind of to help new people get... He's trying to fight my character. To get it back into like this combat system that they didn't really might understand how to use. As you saw right there, once you leave combat, while you do lose adrenaline, you can actually heal up with any excess adrenaline you have. So this is the area loot. I'm pretty sure it loots in a 3x3 area, so these things are outside of my area, so I can't loot them, but you can loot it all in one area. I'll show you what I mean by right here. So once I click right here, you can see the 3 bones from all those are in my area, and I can pick them all up. Once I kill a couple more, I'll teach you guys to another skill, prayer, which you will see if you do this tutorial island, but it's fine if I just go over it one more time for you once I get these next couple kills. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So this cape right here is actually a melee cape. You can see it gives 1 strength bonus, and it's a type melee. Healing up. It's a very convenient cape. The trolls in each of these give different ones. This is the Blade Storm. I think the mage version over there is Spell Storm, and I'm pretty sure the ranged version is Maelstrom. Don't quote me too much on that. Oops, I attacked him. You know what? We'll just get one more experience. It's fine. So we're going to loot everything one more time, and I'm going to show you guys the a new skill that I haven't introduced to yet, and that is prayer. So in prayer, you pretty much bury these buried bones to earn prayer experience to increase your prayer level, which you can then use to boost your combat skills, whether it's offensive abilities or defensive. So I'll kind of just start by burying bones, and then I'll show you some of the prayers that are in the game. So you can of course bury bones the normal way by just clicking on them, or you can also additionally drag the bones onto your keyboard and just continuously hit the button to do it that way. So that is the prayer skill. So now let's open up the prayers themselves. Right now I only have 1 prayer unlocked, so that's all I can do. But as you can see, you can hover over it and it'll tell you what the prayer does. So this prayer uses prayer points to increase my defense, so I'll become more tanky. The next prayer will be similar, but it'll be a strength variant to increase my strength to make me do more offensive damage. And later down the line, once you hit 37, looks like it's raining over here. 37 prayer to 43 prayer, you start getting skills. Protect prayers, which allow you to protect damage from the 3 main combat: melee, range, and magic. They do 50% protection, but there are other abilities which can actually make them do 100% protection, namely devotion. Let's see. You know what? I'll move on. I've killed enough trolls. We can always kill some more trolls later once we do the other combat skills. Yeah, so that's just talking about Revolution, where it automatically does the abilities for you. I'll click through these a bit slowly so you guys can read them, or you can pause the video to read them thoroughly if I press the button too fast. So just a quick tip for you guys that may still not fully understand how to kind of use all of these skills, because I have all these random abilities that kind of are confusing, that might kind of overwhelm you. If you right click this gear right here, you can click the set up action bar, and it'll actually make an action bar that is most ideal for your character. It didn't change anything, but as you can see here, it did add the ultimate ability right there, which may have been there actually earlier. I'm not actually sure. But it's just a great way, if you still don't fully understand the skill system yet, to be able to add them to your hotbar without having to worry too much about selecting the one you need. And as I mentioned earlier, this was talking about with, if you look over on here, requires both adrenaline, a 2-handed sword, and 55 attack. It's similar to how this one only requires 2 hands, which I do have, so I can drag that and put it on my bar right there. So let's see what Turiel wants us to do. I think it's range next, or mage. Or he's going to go through this all over again. Does he want me to actually open up the settings? Okay. So what's great about this option right here is earlier I could only eat the cooked rabbit when I had the cooked rabbit on my hotbar. I wouldn't be able to eat the cooked meat. But what this does, it will eat the first food in my inventory. So it will eat the cooked rabbits, but once I'm out of cooked rabbits, it will eat the cooked meat, which is just a convenience factor that it has there. Again, this can be put on either bar and can be activated by hotkey if you have the hotkey available. So now we're going to do our first bit of a boss monster. We'll be able to use all the skills we just learned from Miss Turiel over here to see what's up. Looks like it's storming over here too. Should get an umbrella, which are in the game. Just a quick fun fact about trolls. Whatever the troll eats first is what they are usually named. So that means this guy ate a... I can't look at him right now, I'm too far away. But this guy ate a morning star. So let's show you the true value of combat. I'm actually going to drag and drop the food here so I can use it as a hotkey instead of clicking on it. So it will just slowly go through and use our skills. I'll use the threshold ability. Actually, I don't know if I'll have enough time, so I'll use the slaughter is pretty much the same thing as this, but if you use slaughter, once it hits, if I walk under him and make him move, the slaughter will do 3 times the damage. So I'm going to heal up by clicking on that. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll maybe I will be able to get to it. So I'll be using the ultimate ability now. My character will jump up into the sky, slam down, and almost kill him. And I killed him. So let's eat up to replenish some health. Oh, and by the way, eating will reduce your adrenaline. And I'm guessing that is the morning star he ate. So we'll loot all of this, and I'm pretty sure burying his bones give a hefty amount of prayer experience. Yes, it actually leveled me up 3 times. Increase my combat level. Thank you. So I have more prayer points now. It goes up by 10 every single level, and as you can see in my prayer book right here, I did get the Burst of Strength ability, which is kind of like the counter, so the defensive and the offensive abilities. Alright. I think this is a pretty good point to stop off for now, to kind of for this first part of the episode. I hope all of you guys enjoy. If you have any kind of constructive criticisms you want to give me, whether it's about the way I speak, the progression of the video, the pace of the video, please tell me down below. I will most likely be recording the second episode either right after this or in the next couple hours, so I may not be able to get your feedback by then, but the third video I will record tomorrow. So if you reach out before then in the comment section, I will try my best to take your criticism into account. Thank you very, very much for coming by video today, and I will see you tomorrow.